Hi everyone, welcome to the continent of Africa. This is a brief explanation of the following items on each of the country measured on this channel: the geography, the culture, the languages, climate, tourism, some of the emblematic places of interest, and the diversity of the ethnic groups living in harmony in one country. I wish you will broaden your knowledge by listening to the video. I believe that joining effort will make it possible to improve the cross-cultural understanding and global awareness among the nations in order to develop perception and inclusion of the strange. I thank you so much for your time and interest. Welcome to Kenya. Here goes the geography. Kenya, officially the Republic of Kenya, is a country in Africa and a founding member of the East African Community. Its capital and largest city is Nairobi. Kenya's territory lies on the equator and overlies the East African Rift, covering a diverse and expansive terrain that extends roughly from Lake Victoria to Lake Turkana, formerly called Lake Rudolph, and further southeast to the Indian Ocean. It is bordered by Tanzania to the south, Uganda to the west, South Sudan to the northwest, Ethiopia to the north, and Somalia to the northeast. Kenya covers an area of 581,309 square kilometers and has a population of approximately 45 million inhabitants. In July 2014 census estimate, that Kenya became an independent country under the Kenyan Independence Act 1963 of the United Kingdom. Exactly 12 months later, on 12 December 1964, the Republic of Kenya was proclaimed and Jomo Kenyatta became Kenya's first president. Ethnic groups. I have selected the ethnic groups with higher population and the languages widely spoken among the nation. Kenya has a diverse population that includes most major ethno-racial and linguistic groups found in Africa. There are an estimation of 47 different communities, with Bantus and Nilotes constituting the majority of local residents. Kusiti groups also form a minority ethnic group, as well as the Arabs, Indians, and Europeans. The country has a young population, with 73% of residents aged below 30 years. Because of rapid population growth, from 2.9 million to 45 million inhabitants over the last century. Languages. According to ethnology, there are a total of 69 languages spoken in Kenya. Most belong to two broad languages family: Niger-Congo Bantu branch and Nilo-Saharan Nilo branch, spoken by the country's Bantu and Nilotic populations, respectively. The Cushitic and Arab ethnic minorities speak languages belonging to the separate Afro-Asiatic family, with the Indian and European residents speaking languages from the Indo-European family. Kenya's various ethnic groups typically speak their mother tongues within their own communities. The two official languages, English and Swahili, are used in varying degrees of fluency for communication with other populations. English is widely spoken in commerce, schools, and government. Peri-urban and rural dwellers are less multilingual, with many in rural areas speaking only their native languages. British English is primarily used in the country. Additionally, a distinct local dialect, Kenyan English, is used by some communities and individuals in the country and contains features unique to it that were derived from local Bantu languages such as Swahili and Kikuyu. It has been developing since colonization and also contains certain elements of American English. Sheng is a Swahili-based dialect spoken in some urban areas, primarily consisting of a mixture of Swahili and English. It is an example of linguistic code switching. Swahili, a Bantu language with Arabic, Persian, and other Middle Eastern and Southern Asian loan words, later developed as a lingua franca for trade between the different peoples. Swahili now also has loan words from English. Culture. And on the other hand, it might be of interest to know some of the emblematic places for cultural and tourism purposes. The culture of Kenya consists of multiple traditions. Kenya has no single prominent culture that identifies it. It instead consists of various cultures practiced by the country's different communities. Notable populations include the Swahili on the coast, several other Bantu communities in the central and western regions, and Nilotic communities in the northwest. The Maasai culture is well known to tourism, despite constituting a relatively small part of Kenya's population. They are popular for their elaborate upper body adornments and jewelry. Moreover, Kenya has an extensive music, television, and theater scene. Climate. Kenya's climate varies from tropical along the coast to temperate inland to arid in the north and northeast parts of the country. The area receives a great deal of sunshine every month, and summer clothes are worn throughout the year. It is usually cool at night and early in the morning in the inland at higher elevations. The long rain seasons begin from March to April and ends between May and June. The short rain season starts from October to November or December. The temperature remains high throughout these months of tropical rain. The hottest period is February and March, leading into the season of the long rains, and the coldest is in July until mid-August. Kenya has a warm and humid tropical climate on its Indian Ocean coastline. The climate is cooler in the savanna grasslands around the capital city, Nairobi, and especially closer to Mount Kenya with permanent snow on its peaks. Further inland, in the Yans region, there is a hot and dry climate which becomes humid around Lake Victoria, the largest tropical freshwater lake in the world. This gives way to temperate and forested hilly areas in the neighboring western region. The northeastern regions along the border with Somalia and Ethiopia are arid and semi-arid areas with desert landscapes. Tourism. Kenya's services sector, which contributes 61% of the GDP, is dominated by tourism. The tourism sector has exhibited steady growth in most years since independence, and by the late 1980s had become the country's principal source of foreign exchange. Kenya has considerable land area devoted to wildlife habitats, including the Masai Mara, where blue whitebeasts and other bovids participate in a large-scale annual migration. A significant population of other wild animals, reptiles, and birds can be found in the national parks and game reserves in the country. The annual animal migration occurs between June and September, with millions of animals taking part, attracting valuable foreign tourism. About 2 million wild beasts migrate a distance of 2,900 kilometers from the Serengeti in the neighboring Tanzania to the Masai Mara in Kenya, searching for food and water supplies. Kenya is traditionally famous for its safaris, diverse climate and geography, and expansive wildlife reserves, national parks, and several World Heritage Sites, and numerous world-famous beaches. Tourism has seen a substantial revival over the past several years and is the major contributor to the pickup in the country's economic growth. Tourism is now Kenya's largest foreign exchange earnings sector, followed by flowers, tea, and coffee. Presently, there are also numerous shopping centers in Kenya,